our previous video, we talked about reviewing how to come to what key signature we're looking at very quickly on the dominant side of the circle of fifths. Today we're going to look at the subdominant side. And so once again, if I asked you a very simple question, if I said, well, what key signature has 4 flats? And I said, can you do this very fast? Okay, well, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to start over here with C major. Let's kind of look for some patterns here. I know that the circle of fifths is we're going to go down by 5, or that's kind of the same thing as going up by 4. And so that would give me an F. And if we did it again, we'd get a B flat. And again, it's an E flat. And again, would be A flat. And again, would give us D flat. And again, would give us G flat. And now let's look for some patterns here. And well, one of the patterns I notice is that, let's see, C to B flat to A flat to G flat. And you should notice that these are all going down by a whole step. So C to B flat is down by a whole step, down by a whole step, and then down by a whole step. Then we start again over here at F, and we go F to E flat, and once again that's down by a whole step. E flat to D flat, that's down by a whole step. So very, very quickly I can sort of get the correct order of the circle of fifths on the subdominant side. Okay, so we're going down instead of up. Remember when we did the dominant side, we were talking about going up. Now we're going down by a fifth. Now again, we think, well, C has 0 flats, F has 1 flat, B flat has 2 flats. So this is number of flats. 2 flats, then 3 flats, and 4 flats, and 5 flats, and 6 flats. So very, very quickly. So what has 4 flats? Well, that would be simple. Now we can look at it and go, well, that would be the key of A flat major has 4 flats. So you could see it's a relatively quick thing to write down. So using this sort of skip method here, where we kind of skip over this one, we go C to B flat to A flat to G flat, recognizing though that G flat to F is a half step. So there's always a half step, and we saw that actually in our dominant side when we had an F sharp over here, and then over here we had a G. There was also a half step. All right, let's write this out very, very quickly then. And so in that regard, let's see, if I wanted to write this out, I could say C, and maybe using my skip method, B flat, skip, A flat, skip, G flat. Now we come in and fill in the blanks, F, E flat, D flat. And now I've sort of filled in the blanks very quickly, and I can ascertain, well, how many flats do we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 flats. But maybe that wouldn't be enough information. Maybe you said, well, I need to know what flats are going to be inside of that scale. Okay, well, that's really not too hard to ascertain. What's inside of F major? Well, F major is going to have B flat. What's inside of B flat major? It's going to have B flat and E flat. You can see it's taking the next flat. What's inside of E flat is going to be B flat, E flat, and A flat. What's inside of an A flat major? That would be B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. What's inside of D flat would be B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. And if I thought to myself, what's inside of a G flat? B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and a little tricky here, C flat. So that would be the last one you have to sort of memorize. Well, how did I get there? We did talk about before that we said bead with a gold clasp fastener. And so that's something that I memorized that kind of helps. Or you could also look for patterns here in the flats. There's definitely skipping patterns here as well. We can say, you know, B flat to A flat to G flat, and we've got E flat to D flat to C flat. You could look for patterns everywhere. There's tons of patterns, right? Okay, so let's maybe do kind of a little bit of a quiz on this. Let's ask ourselves a question. What key signature has 4 flats? 4 flats. All right, so I would think to myself, let's see, well, we know we've got C, and then it would go F, B flat, and then E flat, and then A flat. And I know that this would have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 flats. And then my next question is, well, what flats are in there? And I think about, well, I know I can look at all the flats that are sort of inside, and maybe let me go one step further here. Let me go one step further, and D flat, and I know that this one actually has 5 flats. And why did I go one step further? Because I know what's inside of F major is going to be B flat, and what's inside of B flat major is going to be an E flat. So What's inside of A flat major? Well, it's going to be all of the previous flats. It's going to be B flat, E flat, A flat, obviously, and then the next one, which would be over here, which is D flat. Okay, so that's an easy way to sort of ascertain how, what flats there are. I could also think, well, it had 4 flats, and that's bead. B-E-A-D, 4 letters, 4 flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. They're the first 4 letters that we say. So that's another sort of trick that you can use to ascertain this information very, very quickly.